Yeah, brush your teeth.
This is one of the famous photographers of the Blue Mountains here, guys. Any keen photographers, he'll know all about it. Dinosaurs. Actual dinosaurs would have eaten plants just like this one here. When we go down deeper into the dark forest, we'll see all sorts of goodies. Other than dinosaurs, we can find other things here. We've got lyrebirds, these big chook-like things with great big tail feathers running around. You might get lucky and see some other creepy crawlies, all right? So keep your eyes peeled. No, she's gone.
Yep.
Come on through. Left-hand side, kids, this is our first fossil. Right, so what we're looking at here is a fossil. First, can anyone, hands up, can anyone tell me what a fossil is? You.
It's a dinosaur bone that's turned to stone over millions of years.
Oh. I don't think you need me. I think I got near God. I'm going to be out of a job. That's fantastic. So, the answer, I like that. A dinosaur bone that has turned to stone over millions of years. That's brilliant. So imagine this. Bones, animals, die and they fall into the mud. Sometimes plants will fall into the mud. Sometimes just imprints of feet in the mud, but they're covered up, all right? So maybe in a stream, and that stream will cover it up with more mud and it preserves it. Preserved just means kept for a long, long time. Then millions of years later, scientists, paleontologists, they will come and dig it up and they can learn all sorts of things. What we've got here on the left is a protoceratops. It's a little bit like a triceratops, but much, much older. This thing on the left doesn't have the great big horns of the triceratops, which we'll see later on. And on the right is a velociraptor. Now, looking at the bones, the rangers have discovered that there are bite marks and claw marks all over each other. So what we think is that they met their demise in a big fight. So they're wrestling around, attacking each other, and they both died. They fell into the mud and they were covered up. And now, millions of years later, we uncover them and we can learn all sorts about them. What they looked like, how they died, where they lived. When we go further down, we're going to see more fossils. There are bones down here, even eggs, all sorts. Now, it's really interesting. Fossils have been found all around the world, even Antarctica. Who can tell me what Antarctica looks like? Grey shirt, jumper up the back. Go for it, champion. What does it look like to you when you think of Antarctica with all the penguins? Snow? Yeah, lots of snow and ice, right? Did you know? Yeah, there you go. Love it. Great answer. So, if you dig through that ice in Antarctica, go down, 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 you'll hit rock. In that rock, in certain places, you'll find fossils. You'll find fossils of ferns and rainforest plants and even dinosaur remains, because millions of years ago, Antarctica was covered in forest and it was actually attached to Australia.
Mummy.
Go back about 60 million years ago, we could have walked from here to Antarctica. Kept going to South America and Africa even if we wanted, and India. It was all attached and it was very, very different. So things have changed a lot since then. So it's really lucky that we're here. There are things that are kind of still similar here in our rainforest. So you can start to see that life is very different and there are fossils everywhere. And fossils can teach us all sorts of things, even the environment and things that lived and what they lived off, because we can see the plants that these animals lived off. Right. We're going to go down a little bit further and see what else we can discover. The carpet ends, and when the carpet ends, things can get slippery. So take your time, all right? Come on through.
Dinosaur can show the girls.
T-Rex? Yeah.
I think he's a T-Rex here. Look at his teeth, Eliza. Yeah. Do you want to take a photo of it for that? Yeah. We just want to see a dinosaur.
Let's see a dinosaur.
All right, kids. What sort of skull is it? Go for it. Green, jump on the goo. What do you got?
A T-Rex.
Oh, 10,000 points for you. I'm not sure what those points do, but you've got them. We'll figure that out later. She doesn't care. Right, this is a T-Rex skull. Now, did you all see the T-Rex up the top when you first arrived? Yeah, pretty amazing, hey? Think of this. That T-Rex you saw up there, very small, okay? Now, paint this picture for you. The leg up to the hip of a T-Rex, 4 meters just to the hip. Now, my friend here, gentleman, would be about 2 meters tall. Would that be fair to say?
About 6 foot.
About 6 foot. So yeah, we're getting up there, 180, about 2 meters is about here on me, right? Double that. And there you've got the top of the T-Rex hip. It is a beast. This thing, 6-7 tons, 7,000 kilograms. I weigh maybe 100. The head on this thing, this is the interesting part. Now, the strongest bite of any animal that has ever been discovered, ever, okay, that we know about is the T-Rex. 6,000 to 8,000 kilograms of downward pressure. This thing could crush the car that you drove here today in. Okay? The mouth, maybe about 2.5 meters. I could lie down in it comfortably, just in its mouth. The teeth, 60 teeth, 30 centimeters long, as long as a school. Do you still use school rulers? Or am I just talking old-fashioned here? Yes, a school ruler, 60 of them, 6,000 kilograms coming down. Hello, can you see me through your binoculars there? Yeah, you can. In Jurassic Park, I mean, there's this scene where, you know, they all stand still so the T-Rex doesn't get them. And that's because a lot of predators, like snakes and things, have their eyes on the side of their head. They can't see what's depth perception. So everything sort of looks flat, like a piece of paper. So if you stand still, you're not going to be seen. But the T-Rex has evolved eyes in front of them, just like you and I. So if you stand still and think you're going to get away with it, that's a very stupid thing to do, because the T-Rex will see you quite clearly. This thing can run probably over 30 kilometers an hour. It weighs 7 ton. Its bite, 6,000 kilograms. It is an enormous beast. Absolute beast of an animal. This is why it's called the king of the dinosaurs. I really like to paint the picture of it. People don't quite understand what this thing was capable of, but this is the T-Rex, okay? I like to stop here for a moment. Everyone catch their breath, because guess what's next, kids? The real thing. Ready to say the dinosaurs? Yeah? Come on through, guys. Here we go. Straight to the finish line. That's all. Oh, right, making hard work for you.
The exposure stay.
Oh, right, it took accommodating for you. Yeah. It's like, ah. Here's our first dinosaur, folks. This is Maiasaura, the good mother lizard. Now this thing, she was a good mother. They found many remains of the Maiasaura. This is in North America. And they also found many of the eggs of the Maiasaura. This is where it gets the name the good mother lizard. This is quite a huge creature. You know, quite a few ton, thousands of kilograms. Very strong legs, could move fast. It was a herd animal, just like maybe buffalo's a good example. So they'd move in great big packs. And this is their defense. So predators would have a real hard time attacking them because there were just huge numbers like buffalo running through. Now Maiasaura, she would eat plants. Can anyone tell me what something's called when you only eat plants? That's another 10,000 points for you. Now, we've got a herbivore, only eats plants. Okay, so it's not going to bite down on anything. But the Maiasaura, if you look at the head there, great big bones protruding out of the head there. This would be possibly used to defend, so beating up, okay? Really belting any predators that were in the area. And that great big long tail would whip around, and those strong legs, it could move fast. So the Maiasaura, really good mum, really protect its young. And this thing, absolute beast of a creature. Now, we're talking about looking after itself. Let's have a look at our next friend down behind me here. Whenever you're ready, get your photos of the Maiasaura, and then look at this. Pretty cool, huh? Anyone want to try and read the name of this one? You want to give it a go? Go on. He just read it out in his head and he did it perfectly. He said to himself, Pachycephalosaurus. Well done. 10,000 points for you. Alright, so Pachycephalosaurus. Can anyone tell me why they look so ridiculous? Look at those heads. Why? Let's go for another look.
For fighting. He does have spikes on his
Big spikes. So this, have you ever seen rams? Big horned sheep? And the males, the boys, they butt heads like this. Whack! Perfect example. Right. So look at these heads, these great big spikes. Those skulls, 20 centimeters thick. Can you imagine that? 20 centimeter thick skull. What is our skull? Maybe a centimeter or so? Yeah, not much. So they were used to ram each other. So it might be a territory. So this is his country, and this one's roamed in looking for a girlfriend maybe. And so they start butting heads. But also if predators came in, they would use it and whack straight in. Now because they had such thick skulls, you reckon they had many brains or not many brains? Probably very small, right? So they had very little brains. They weren't very smart. But you don't need to be smart when all you do is eat plants because they're herbivores and butting heads of anyone getting in your way. These things, great big strong legs. Look at the claws on their feet. Big strong legs, they could run fast, and these claws really digging around. They could do some serious damage. Can you imagine the sound of these things colliding? Absolute enormous. Kind of ridiculous looking though, but yeah, the Pachycephalosaurus, okay guys? And that's what they did. Now, when you've got your photos, when you had your sticky beak, we're going to go down and see what else we can discover, okay? Come on through.
There's another one up there.
What are they doing? Yeah, they're doing well too. So,
They're watching us.
yeah, up in the caught. Oh, they got this one looks like it's been in spiderwebs. It does, yes. You hear the lyrebird carrying on over here. So, on our right, these two beautiful things up here, these are the pteranodons. Not technically, they're not actual dinosaurs, but winged reptiles. The best example is sort of saying a goldfish and a shark are the same thing. Very similar, but very different.
Spiderwebs in the mouth.
Yeah, spiderwebs in the mouth. Of all this anticipation of Dino Valley, and this is what you're taking away from it. I love it. Ridiculous. What have you got here? Well spotted. This one took me a long time to remember how to say this one. This one. Anyone want to try it?
I have to fight like that.
Yeah, be like big wings. This thing is my favourite. This is the Quetzalcoatlus, okay? I think I did all right with that one. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now,
Favourite too, is it?
this here. This is, just imagine this, okay? The Quetzalcoatlus. How tall is a giraffe?
Very tall.
Huge. I'll take that big. So the answer is that. I think this means huge. They are. 9, sometimes a little bit taller, meters. Remember, I'm not even 2. So a giraffe, the height of a giraffe. Remember, this thing can fly. All right, now, as tall as a giraffe. Now you, what's your name? I'm going to call you Meow, because that's what it says on your jacket. You like that, don't you? Yes. So Meowie, you stay there. From here.
He's going to show you how big these birds are. From here.
From me to Meowie. That's its wingspan.
That's just his wing.
Okay. So as tall as a giraffe, as wide as a bus. This thing, how heavy must it be? The answer? Huge. You would think it would weigh tons, thousands of kilograms. Now, remember that awful moment where I revealed to you that I weigh about 100 kilograms? This thing, only 200 kilograms. This thing weighed only about twice as much as me. I know, baffling. Now, modern day birds, just like this, they had stripped down bones, almost hollow, okay? Stripped down to the bare minimum so they could fly. But these things, the enormous size of them, they would hunt fish, they would scavenge things that already, you know, like a T-Rex had finished, you know, had his fill and what was left, just like a wolf come in and scavenging. And this thing, I just can't imagine it. Now, when you come through, it's beautiful. If you get your photo, so all that sun filtering, that light coming through the rainforest, you get the silhouettes, that's a funny word, isn't it, of these creatures up in the rainforest. It's a really beautiful little opportunity to get a photo of these things as you come underneath it here. And once you've done that, we're going to go visit our first Australian dinosaur, okay? Here we go. It'd be great. Here we go. No great prizes to pronounce the name of this one. This is Minmi. Now, if you go up into Queensland, you'll find a place called Minmi Crossing. Minmi Crossing is where they found the remains of this. Now, let's look at this thing. Our first Australian dinosaur. Quite strange looking. Can anyone tell me why it's got this strange looking back all over it? Great Tracky, go for it, mate. What do you got? Why does it have that great big bumpy back? Because it has lumps on it. That's brilliant. That is the most perfect answer I could think of. Now, why is it like an armadillo or maybe a turtle? Why do they have those big hard backs on them? Anyone? Protect. So imagine Quetzalcoatlus or the Pteranodon really coming down. Now this thing, this great big hard shell and these spikes, it'd have a really hard time trying to do any damage, wouldn't it? So Minmi, not great big teeth. Do you think it's a herbivore? I think it's a herbivore eating the plants, and it wants to be left alone. Now, if Quetzalcoatlus or the Pteranodon's really having a go at it, what do you think it's going to do next to look after itself? Look at it. What's it going to do? The what? Try and get, I'd say the Pteranodon would try to get underneath to its soft belly. But what's Minmi going to do to protect itself? Big head, that's a great answer. And if you look at the back, look at this tail. Can you imagine this great big tail whipping around the spikes down the thing? So you'll start to see this. Herbivores, these ones that are just trying to eat the plants and carry on, they've got this incredible armour all over it, and these great big tails with these great big spikes. The legs of this thing are actually quite strong and long. These things could move quite fast as well. So this is Minmi, our first Australian dinosaur. We've got another Australian dinosaur over my shoulder, just over here. This one's a little bit more serious than Minmi. So when you're ready, get your photo, say goodbye to Minmi, and we're going to go up a little further. Here we go.
It's not on.
Oh, did you? Well then, I retract my enthusiasm for your answer. This is the Australovenator. Now, do you think this one's a herbivore? What is it called if you only eat meat?
No.
What is it?
It's a carnivore.
Carnivore. I think you got it at the back, my friend up here. Carnivore. Australovenator. It has the nickname Banjo. Now, who knows of Banjo Patterson? Anyone? Couple of hands up. Mums and dads. Now, Banjo Patterson, one of Australia's most famous poets. Am I boring you yet, children? Now, Banjo Patterson wrote a poem called Waltzing Matilda. It almost became our national anthem. May do again one day. So, the poem is about a swagman. And this swagman camped by a billabong and he stole a jumbuck. It's like a big horned sheep.
Ow!
The police came down, the troopers, and he jumped into the billabong and died. Banjo Patterson, the poet, wrote this about a very specific billabong. Okay? And this is the same billabong where the remains of Australovenator were found. And this is why they're called Banjo, after Banjo Patterson. Now they look a little like another dinosaur. What sort of dinosaur do they look like? They do look a bit like that, a bit smaller. What else? Velociraptor. Very good, guys. So, these things, much bigger than a Velociraptor. Okay? Sometimes over 1,000 kilograms. They could run as fast as Usain Bolt, the world's fastest man. It's up to 40 kilometers an hour. Their claws on their hands, this is the serious. They had blade-like claws that came down, knife-like blades, whack, into their prey. And then they drag them in those big teeth coming down to rip them apart. So you think about this thing, about weighs as much as the car you drove here today in. Great big knife blades on their hands, big strong feet, and could move fast in those big teeth coming down. These things, these are our Australovenator, the Australian carnivore. Absolute beasts of things these are. These are wonderful. Now, carrying on. I can hear something down here. You might even spot a lyrebird running around here. And I can hear the birds getting really excited. It's usually a distress call. Could be a big snake or an owl or something in the territory down there. All right, so when you're ready, say goodbye to Banjo. You might know what this next one is. You're welcome to come up and have a closer look. We can come back. Just on the rock there, there's the male lyrebird. Doing kookaburra sounds. All right, what are they? Triceratops. Why are they called Triceratops?
Because they have horns.
3 horns, 3 tri, same thing, that's right. These things, they can weigh up to around 12,000 kilograms. Okay? 12,000 kilograms, 12 ton. These great big shields for protection, these great big horns, which aren't bone, but a weird thing called keratin. Same thing your hair and your fingernails are made out of. Now they only ate plants, but you wouldn't want to mess with the Triceratops. They lived around the same time and in the same place as the T-Rex. Pretty good that they had this huge protection, these great big horns all over them. Just enormous. Can everyone do the sound of a Triceratops? Can you do a sound of a Triceratops? Not even close. Yeah, look at that little one. Isn't that adorable? Here we go. So have a look at Triceratops. And again, lyrebird. Oh, they're gliding off into the forest there. Beautiful. Oh yeah, biggest skull ever discovered. Triceratops of dinosaurs. It's about almost 3 meters wide. Can you imagine that? Absolutely enormous. Quiet. All right, and usually a crowd favourite, just over my shoulder. Come on, guys, let's have a look. Well done. So here we are, have the Stegosaurus. I remember bringing my boss through here on one of the first tours, and she stood right here and she just lost it. She was just buckled over laughing, just staring this thing in the eye. She couldn't leave it. She's usually quite a serious, character, but not when she saw this thing. So the Stegosaurus, great big plates all down its back. Right, this would help for protecting it. Remember what we've learnt? So these plant eaters need lots of protection while they're eating the plants. But they also think that these great big plates were also used to absorb heat, like big solar panels, but also let go of heat if they got too hot. Now, what's the day? 1st of February 2021, right? Okay, so today, 1st of February 2021, the T-Rex. The last T-Rex was about 66 million years ago. Then an asteroid came down and wiped them all out. The Stegosaurus, going back maybe 140 plus million years. What this means, we are closer in time to the last Tyrannosaurus Rex than it was to the Stegosaurus. Absolutely enormous. Now, I always grew up thinking that, dinosaurs were all around and it sort of happened at the same time. But the Jurassic and the Cretaceous period, millions and millions of years, is an incredible, huge amount of time. So you start to get this, paint a picture of the expanse of time that dinosaurs actually dominated the Earth. No old Stegosaurus, he had a brain. He was quite big, but he only had a brain about the size of a walnut. All right, he could just about handle. Don't like that at all. Couldn't handle much. Just ate food and got on with the day. But yeah, very, very famous.
He's a herbivore.
Brilliant. He's a herbivore. So not a carnivore, but a herbivore. You can see that little mouth, almost like a bird-like mouth, isn't it? Strange looking. Yeah, you like that one. Yeah, so this is our Stegosaurus. Now, behind me here, we can have a bit of a, breather from me gas bagging all the time. We've got the ranger hut, so we've got a few little, let's call them artifacts and bits and pieces in there. And then we've got our last dinosaur, the Leolanosaurus. That's a mouthful. Try saying that with a mouthful of marbles. Just around the corner, so you can have a little sniff around, have a look. I'll be around if you have any questions. Or if you want to take some last photos with any of these little characters, by all means. Come around. 6 months of the year, dark and cold. These ones So here we have Leolanosaurus. It's very hard to speak next to these things. I'll do the best I can. So my friend here and I were discussing about dinosaurs and the way they survived in these ancient times in different climates. Now, these dinosaurs were found in Victoria, and at the time they were in Victoria, it would have been right down the bottom of the Earth in the Arctic Circle, where it's very frozen now. Now, it wasn't frozen then, but it would have been colder, and it would have been dark for many months of the year. So these great big eyes are like owl eyes, so they could see in the dark. And they also, some scientists think they were covered in little feathers called down. Down's what some pillows are stuffed with. Chickens. Their big feathers are here, you look under the big feathers and you've got little fluffy feathers called down. So they think the Leolanosaurus may have been covered in them. And they've got these great big long tails, much longer than most dinosaurs like this, possibly to wrap around themselves to keep warm. So this is another Australian dinosaur found down in Victoria. And it's really beautiful. If you get around here, you can see the other ones around the other side. Get your photograph. And I'm afraid to say, everyone, this is as low as we go. All the easy walking down, we now have to walk back up. All right, so whenever you're ready, I'm going to start heading up there. Get your photographs, no great rush. And do yourself a favour. When you just go up past here, there is a break in the canopy. Look up. It is insanely beautiful. Really, really beautiful, okay? And we're going to go through the hatchery now. This is where the dinosaurs have been laying their eggs. We won't stop too many times on the way up. It's just probably stopping for a breather and if you have any other questions. And we'll make our way up to the Scenic Railway.
This way.
Hey, Mom. They're not barking.
Yeah.
They're not barking, no, they're not cracking it. It's just
less
got
than
tiny
2
little crack in
centimetres.
it.
Amazing.
Not ready yet.
Yeah, I know, absolutely. They would have been well protected, I imagine. So yeah, we got our first eggs here. As we walk up, you're going to see quite a few of them. Dinosaur eggs. It's hard to imagine, but these ones, it says on the sign here, so don't think I'm too clever. 18 millimetres long. Yeah, thumbnail. Less than 2 centimetres. Tiny little eggs. Dinosaurs were laying these things. Now you can imagine they grew a lot bigger than that. When we go up here, we're going to see some real big ones. You can make a real decent omelette out of, I reckon. Come on through. So this dinosaur egg, we don't know what it is. The rangers have been trying to figure it out. Well, it's been trying to hatch for a couple of months now, so don't get too excited. You see they're all set up waiting for it to come out. Now, we've just got a couple of little bends, some stairs, and then we're rock and roll on the world's steepest railway. So when you're ready, folks, here we go.
Alrighty, Junior Dino Rangers, my name is Rob, I'm your driver, I'm all the way up the very back and we're going to be going backwards to the main Scenic building, so holding on to anything loose and valuable, that does include your children, as we ride the World Fixed Railway back to Scenic World. Alrighty, Junior Dino Rangers, we did it. We survived through the world's steepest railway backwards. We're going to be opening up the doors and the gates on the left-hand side. You'll proceed to follow Ranger Pete, as he has a fair bit more to show you. Once again, doors and gates are going to open up on the left-hand side. Thanks for riding the world's steepest railway, visiting the Blue Mountains, and listening to me talk.
So much. Kids, give yourselves a round of applause. Hey, clap hands? No, just a shake of the head, not going to happen. Fantastic, that was a lot of fun. It's really wonderful having a small little group being able to get involved and have a laugh with you. We're going to go upstairs now. We've got a Velociraptor and a Cenosaurus. There's a little gift shop in there, and also if you continue through the main building, we've got the cafe, which is also got a steering terrace overlooking the valley. So with the weather the way it's going, I think you might have a little break and be able to enjoy the views a little bit. I'll come up with you, so if you have any last questions, come and see me. All the staff here, we're all here to look after you as well. So, and keep in mind we're all local, so if you need directions, suggestions, anything to keep the party going after this, come say good day, we'll look after you, alright? Come on up, let's have a sticky beak and I'll let you go from there. Come on through.